today. My name's Eric. As always, I want to thank you for coming by and checking out my video today. On this episode of Smoking, I'm going to show you how to make smoky bacon cheeseburgers. Now, I got this recipe from this local butcher shop that opened up a few months ago right down at the end of my street called J&E Meats. And one of the things that he featured on his Facebook page, and I'll leave a link below if you live near me, go check them out. They are awesome. But anyway, one of the things that he featured was these smoky bacon cheeseburgers. And it's already ground up, and we brought them home. You can either get it in raw format or made into patties, and we made some burgers, and they were absolutely delicious. So I went over there yesterday, and I was going to get some for a video, but unfortunately he ran out because they're so popular. Every time he makes a big batch, they sell out so quickly. In fact, while we were there kind of hanging out talking to him, a lady came in specifically looking for it. She'd never been there, and she said, oh yeah, I got a recommendation that I had to try these burgers, and he apologized and I'm sorry I don't have any, but come back Tuesday and I'll do a new batch. So anyway, I was also disappointed, and then he told me, well look, I have all the ingredients here, why don't you make it yourself at home? So he sold me all the ingredients. Now, when I first tried these burgers, they had such an intense smoky flavor, I actually thought he took the raw ground beef and smoked it for a few hours to absorb the smoky flavor. And he said no, what he did is he took end pieces of bacon, because they also make and smoke their own bacon there, and these little end pieces that are kind of at the last bit of the slicer that he can't do anything with, he grinds up and incorporates it into the ground beef with some high temperature cheese. And high temperature cheese just means it won't melt when you cook it on the grill. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to mix this all together. I'm going to grind some of this bacon. We're going to mix everything. We're going to make these burger patties, and we're going to make our own homemade smoky bacon cheeseburgers. So stick around. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. Alright, so what I'm using to grind my bacon up, the beef, as you saw, was already ground up. I'm using the KitchenAid meat grinder attachment. Now, if you haven't KitchenAid, make sure I'd highly recommend this. I did a video showing all about this, and I ground some beef, and I'll leave a link below. You can check that out. But one thing they recommend is put all the components in the freezer. I put these in a freezer bag for around 2 hours, because the colder it is, the better, the easier it is to grind. Same thing with these bacon pieces here. I had this in the freezer for around an hour or so. So now I'm just going to take them up here, these pieces of bacon, piece by piece, and we're going to slowly start to grind them. I'm going to kind of push them down in here, give them a little bit of a head start. I might have to cut some of these into smaller chunks. But anyway, real easy. We'll turn this on, and then we need something like a wooden spoon or something to kind of push down, so it'll go into the grinder and come out. And here we go. So this is going to add a little bit more fat to the meat and that delicious smoky flavor. There we go. Doesn't look very appetizing, but works very well, as you can see. And we only need to grind this once. And this is about it. This is all the bacon here. Or I should say the end pieces of bacon. And this is a great thing to use if you do smoke your own bacon and you get some end pieces at the end. Okay, I think we're just about there. There we go. Oh, I have one little piece. All right. We'll just scrape all that off. When it stops coming out, which I think it's just going to be in a second or two. Alright guys, just want to show you what it looks like when it's all ground up. Okay? Be back in a second with the ground beef and that cheese, and we're going to mix this all together. Be back in a second. Alright, so there is the ground up bacon. I'm going to take the ground beef We're just going to incorporate this. The last thing I'm going to put in is the cheese. Cut this into small pieces here. I got a pair of gloves on. Now, like I said, it would have been a lot easier if I would have had some meat that I cut up with the bacon and ground it together, because it would have naturally incorporated itself. But we're going to do it this way instead. So now I'm just going to incorporate those bacon pieces that I just shredded up into the ground beef. I'm going to stir it real good. I don't want to over mix it, but I want it evenly spread out. So give me a few minutes, we'll be back. I'll show you how it's supposed to look like. Alright, so I mixed it pretty well there. You can see it's all incorporated. Now the last step, we're going to put this high temp cheese in there. Now if you think it's a little too dry, you can add a little bit of water as a kind of binding agent in there. Some people add some different things as well. But I'll continue to mix this, and I'll be back in a minute. We're going to make our burger patties, and we'll go from there. See you guys in a minute. Alright guys, I mixed it all together. Look at that. You got the cheese very visible. You can see the pork kind of in there, the lighter color pieces. Now I'm using a Grillaholics burger press, but you can form these by hand. I'd also mention this would make a great meatloaf, for sure. So anyway, I'm going to make a bunch of burgers, and I'm going to sous vide cook these for an hour or two, and then I'm going to finish them off on the grill to put a nice sear on them. And you can make them as big or as little as you want. My wife doesn't like them super thick. I even think that's too much for her. But I highly recommend these burger presses. They're not very expensive. I think you can get them for around 10 bucks, maybe 15 bucks. And this one I got is from Grillaholics. Oops. And you can also make stuffed burgers with this as well. Look at how awesome they make these patties. Very uniform, very nice. And then I'm going to put them in some Ziploc freezer bags, and we're going to just put them in the freezer for around 10-15 minutes while I heat up my sous vide bath, so they get nice and firm and maintain their shape in the plastic bag while they're cooking. So I'm going to continue to do these, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, here we are. So I've made 12 burgers. I had 3 pounds of ground beef. So you would think these patties are around a quarter pound a piece, but they're actually bigger because I put in the cheese and the bacon. I'm not quite sure. I didn't weigh the bacon, but I would guess there was at least a half a pound, maybe closer to 3/4 of a pound of bacon. So these are probably more closer to a 1/3 pound. But look how beautiful these are. So I'm not going to cook all these tonight. We're just going to cook 4 tonight for dinner. And then the other ones I'm going to layer with some wax paper and put in the freezer for one night when we're looking for something to eat. And we can throw them in the sous vide bath. But there they are. So I'm going to heat up the sous vide bath, and we'll be back in a second. Alright, so I heated up my sous vide bath to 135 degrees. One thing I didn't show on video and I didn't mention is apply some salt and pepper on both sides of the burgers. I put a little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of ground black pepper. And if you're new to sous vide, you just basically squeeze all the air out. I got 2 burgers per bag. These are gallon freezer bags. You can vacuum seal them if you like, but for such a short cook, I don't think it's really necessary. And then as you push it underwater, you kind of squeeze that remaining air out and then seal it up. We're going to clamp it on the side. These are going to cook anywhere from 1 all the way up to 4 hours. I'll probably do 1.5 hours, maybe 2. Just depends on how hungry everyone gets, but that's another great thing about sous vide. They're ready when you're ready. So make sure the patties stay completely under the water line, otherwise they're not cooking. Let's squeeze that air out. There we go, seal it up. One more clamp. And then sometimes, just as a safety, I use a pair of tongs or something just to kind of help the burger patty stay underwater. There we go. I'm going to set it for 2 hours, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, since I have a couple hours, time for drink review. This is from Indeed Brewing Company out of Minneapolis. It's called Flavor Wave IPA. I kind of got attracted to the colorful can in the store. It's 6.2% alcohol. That's what I'm having. And this is my daughter, Ava Grace, and my son, Kyle.
Hi.
Now, Ava Grace is trying something. Well, I already poured her a glass, but this is V8 Splash Smoothies. Has antioxidants, vitamin C and B, strawberry banana. So that's what she's having.
It's actually really
Not
good.
the whole thing.
No, not the whole thing, Ava Grace.
That thing
okay?
is big.
And then Kyle, he loves grape soda. His favorite is Grapico
Yeah.
from the South, from Alabama. This one we saw since 1951. It's called Twigs. Forget-me-not grape. Made with real sugar. And I guess it says portion of the proceed goes to Forget-me-not Fund, which is Alzheimer's. That's why you got the purple ribbons on there.
Wait, what's
So that's kind of cool.
No, I'm kidding.
Alright, so that's what Kyle's having. I don't know if that's a twist off or not.
He's getting in it.
Move over, okay, so let me open it for Kyle. There we go. And Ava Grace, yours already poured, so you can just sit there and look at the camera and smile and look pretty.
It smells like the grape crystal light.
Alright. Oh, this looks hazy. Definitely a little cloudy. Oh, I smell hops and a little bit of fruit. Alright. Forget-me-not grape for you and Flavor Wave IPA for me. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much. We're gonna have some delicious burgers here. Cheers. Cheers, Ava Grace. Alright. Let's take a sip, look at the camera, tell them what we think. Wow. Pineapple, grapefruit, really strong. And then like a moderate bitterness at the end with the hops. Yeah, it's a little bitter than most IPAs, but it's very fruitful, so maybe I just need to get used to it. But boy, it's good. Okay, Ava Grace, how is your V8 Splash smoothie?
It's strawberry banana, by the way, guys, and it's really sweet and good, and it's actually really good. When at first you like what we've done earlier. Earlier we went like hiking, like
Oh yeah, we went on a nice hike today to see the
with our
fall
homeschool group.
colors. We had a good time. All right, well, so you like it? You try it again?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
It's good for like trips like at the park or anywhere really.
All right,
and
awesome.
anywhere around the world. It's really good. for your
Anywhere
first
around the
and
world.
just
There
have
you go. All
This.
right.
One
And
of the V8s.
Kyle, what do you think?
It's I think it tastes like grape crystal light, but for someone who doesn't know what that is, this tastes like a grape. It's a grape soda, but I think the grape isn't very strong. It doesn't taste
Oh,
like.
so it's not as good as Grapico?
No.
No?
But it's still good. It just, I think the carbonation's actually stronger than the grape flavor.
No, really? Okay, well, see? You heard it here first, guys.
But it's good.
Yeah, I know he's going to drink it in a hurry. That'll be gone in around 10 minutes. And so
Is that a
this.
challenge?
Again, guys, I appreciate you stopping by. I'm going to enjoy these beverages. We're going to let these cook for a couple hours, and then we'll back and finish them off with a hot sear, and dinner is served. Until then, we'll see you in a little bit. Yeah, I know how you
Empty cup?
Yeah, I know how you chug that down. All right, guys, be back in a minute. All right, welcome back. It's been around 2.5 hours, so we are ready to eat. I just started some charcoal out of my kettle grill. Probably be ready in around 10 minutes, so I'm going to take these out and dry them off very well, which is the secret to getting a good sear. You have to dry it off very well, get all that moisture out. All right. So you can see there's a little bit of liquid in the bag, but you can still see those pieces of cheese, very prominent. So we're just going to very carefully take these out of the bag, and I mean carefully because they are fully cooked. So they're a little bit fragile. So just take your time, very carefully put them on some paper towels, and we're going to dry them off really well. Oh, I can smell the smoke. Woo! It smells really, really good. So now I know how J&E Meats make their smoky burgers. They go ahead and ground some bacon in there. I always thought they smoked the meat, but boy. Alright. So now you just want to take some paper towels, like I said. We're just going to blot them off really well. Just going to let them hang out here for a few minutes. We'll be back in a second. Alright, so here they are, dried off. You can see the cheese is that high temp cheese because it's still very visible. You can also see the pepper that I put on top. But yeah, just been drying them off with some paper towels till that grill is nice and hot. Meet you guys outside. Alright, I got a small basket of coals here, nice and ready, and I got a little bit leftover charcoal in these baskets. And I'll put them out and reuse them again. I just need a quick sear in these burgers, and that's not going to take very long. So it's just like a little mini basket here. And you can sear these however you like. You could do them in a frying pan, cast iron pan. Do it with a grill gun. You could do it on a grill, gas grill, charcoal grill, whatever. Alright. And then I'm going to put the grate on real quick. Just like so. I'll just let that get nice and hot. We'll be back in a second. So these have been going for around 10 minutes. I'm going to spin this around and I'm going to put the burgers on this side. Get a little bit better control. These right here, I'm just going to just like so. And one of the things I love about that spinning grate is you could just spin it around. And you know what, I'm going to do these two first over that hot heat. You know what? I might move these a little bit more inward like that. Alright, you can still see that cheese there. It's ready to go. Alright, I'm going to only give this maybe a minute to a minute and a half on the one side. I just want to get a nice crisp on it. Then we'll flip it over and we'll be done. I'll be stirring these here for around a minute. Taking a little longer because I'm kind of doing two at a time here. Alright, let's get these a flip and see what's going on. Alright. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah. See that cheese just starting to melt now under some heavy heat. Alright, there we go. We'll give it another minute or so. I'm going to top it with some cheese. We'll be back in a second. Alright, so I kind of moved them like this because I'm going to put some cheese on now. It's been around a minute. And then they're pretty much done. This won't take long at all. Got some sharp cheddar on here, along with that high temp cheese in the middle. Yeah. Give them a few more seconds here just to melt that cheese and we'll be done. Alright, so there they are. They're starting to flare up a little bit, so I'm going to just turn it a little bit here. Maybe 20 seconds for each two burgers, and I'll spin them around and take them off because they're perfectly cooked. And I think we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish here. Get a nice crisp on the outside, nice sear, and some melted cheese. I'll meet you guys inside. Alright, here we are with these burgers. Monica and I are having the ones with tomato, and then Kyle doesn't like tomato. And so we're going to give one to him with just onion, lettuce. We got some mayonnaise and mustard on there. Yeah, go ahead, put them on. And then one we're going to slice and put on camera. Eat on camera, I guess. Me and Kyle, because Mom's not feeling well. Her allergies are acting up. Okay. Put it on top. Good job.
These ones are kind of falling apart.
That's alright. Alright, guys. Look at these burgers. Oh man. All right, we'll be back in a second. All right, so let's slice into this and see what we're looking at. Now, when we did this before, they looked like they weren't cooked as much, even though I cooked them at 135. And I think that's because with the bacon in there or something. Not quite. Let's see what we're looking at here.
Looks nice.
Ooh. Let's see. I'm on the back side here. There you go. Look at that. All right, I'm here with my son Kyle. Oh, okay. I can't take it anymore. I'm hungry.
Looks good.
But look at that, man. How delicious that looks. All right, cheers. All right, let's give it a bite. Smoky bacon cheeseburgers. Mmm. Mmm. What do you think?
Just from J&E?
I made it with J&E's recipe. They gave me the bacon, I grinded it, mixed it in with the ground beef.
Well, thank you for the recipe, J&E.
What do you think? That's a pretty. Can you taste the smoke? See, I always thought they smoked the meat, but he told me yesterday, Eric, you just put the bacon in there, and the bacon's so smoky it adds that flavor. You can tell he hates it.
I do.
Mmm. And look at all that cheese inside. It's just starting to melt. That high temp cheese.
The dog's sitting right here. She wants her bite.
Mm-hmm. And look, guys. If you never tried sous vide a burger, give it a shot. Especially if you like really thick burgers, because usually to make sure it's cooked, it's like burnt on the outer edge. With sous vide, you can cook it perfectly from edge to edge, whatever your desired temperature is. But look at that, man. I don't know if you guys can see it. Wow. What do you think? Is it better than In-N-Out?
I think we have a good dinner tonight.
Yes, we got some French fries we're going to eat with this as well. As always, guys, I appreciate you stopping by and watching my video. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. I would also love it if you'd hit my little logo in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. That'll pull up a subscribe button that you can click and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to check out any of my back videos or recipes, go to my website, ericsmokingbbq.com. I'll leave a link below for that site as well.
You're going to want to check out his other videos.
Yeah, yeah. But boy, this is good. This is perfect, what I wanted tonight. And thank you, Eric, from J&E Meats, for selling me all the components to make my own smoky bacon cheeseburgers. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later. Cheers. You still gonna be able to eat a whole one?
Why not?
My God, we'll see you later. What?